What's up, YouTube? So today I'm going to tell you about why I quit OTR trucking. So first of all, if you don't know about me, this is BDY trucking and I drive for Warner. So I applied for team trucking or team OTR. So I was doing teams, and the teaming comes with pros and cons, and the reason why I chose team is because I was fresh from school and I needed somebody to accompany me. I knew when you are fresh you'll be making mistakes on the road, so most definitely two heads are better than one. So if I have somebody with me and I'm on the road, and this is OTR, this is not regional or local or anything, this is OTR, so you will be going to the 48th state and you are alone by yourself, fresh from school, without any that much experience, just 1 month doing training. So I said, okay, it would be wise to do the team driving. Yeah, so and with the teams, as I said earlier, yeah, I did get help within the first couple of months. I did get a lot of help from my teammates. If I wasn't with my teammates, I would have run into some issues. I remember the first time I went to a shipper and I was told that I had to slide the tandems. I didn't know how to slide the tandems, and yep, because yeah, I didn't know it. So I think the second time, then I was with my teammate. So yeah, I mean, he was able to assist me to figure it out, and I got a tandem experience. And I remember the second time too, I was driving at night, and I was following my GPS for looking for a rest area, and I ended up at a dead end. And yeah, had it not been my teammate, it would have been a disaster. So I really enjoyed the teaming. But the cons of teaming, one of the cons, okay, I will talk about the cons when I'm talking about all of the cons. So let's talk about only the pros of OTR. Another pro is freedom of the open road. You know, you're on the road, you are by yourself, you have the autonomy to do whatever that you want, you are independent, and you know, you are not under anybody. So it gives you the freedom to be on the road, to be your own boss, not having a manager looking over your shoulders, checking on you all the time. So I really enjoyed the OTR. And variety in route and scenery. So this is the next topic I'm going to talk about. The OTR gave me a lot of experience to explore almost the 48 states. I didn't travel the whole of the state. I don't remember going to Maine and a couple of states in the northeast. I don't remember going to those kind of states, a couple of them, but I almost traveled all of the states, and I did enjoy seeing the deserts in the Midwest, and yeah, it was beautiful. Like New Mexico, the desert, you know, it was beautiful. So yes, it gives you the opportunity to see the states in the United States and also get paid, you know, being paid on top. So the next opportunity, or the next thing I'm going to talk about, is opportunity for career advancement. So the reason why the OTR is very good for you if you are a new truck driver is, if in the future you want to become an owner operator and you want to join a company mainly for owner operators, they normally require 1 year of OTR experience. So doing OTR fresh from school is pretty good. And the OTR, one advantage is that most of the time you just drive, you know, you just pick a load and you drive to your destination. And most of the time when you arrive at a shipper or the receiver, they have big parking space for you to maneuver, so it helps you to practice, to perfect your backing. You know, truck is not all about just driving the truck. It's mainly about controlling the trailer, or driving the trailer, and most especially backing. So if you're not good at backing, then and you find some local job straight out of school, you know, you're gonna find yourself wanting. So I will encourage people who are fresh out of school without experience that they should do OTR, and this will help them to perfect their backing before they switch to something local or something regional. And so for now, I'm going to talk about the cons. The cons, and mainly the cons will contain the reason why I have stopped OTR trucking. So first of all, the con, the teaming. The teaming comes with con. You know, it's not easy for combining two adults in a very small space, you know, and sometimes if you don't find somebody that you guys can understand each other, it is very tough. Even though you do your best to be to be very understanding, but if you don't get somebody who is very understanding too, then it's very tough. And so, and the second thing I will talk about the con is long hours on the road. You know, the OTR, unlike the other types of tracking, if you are doing solo OTR, okay, that is good. But if you are doing teaming OTR, oh, you spend long hours on the road. For example, OTR isn't like a regular 9 to 5 job. Not even OTR alone, even generally tracking is not like a regular 9 to 5 work. This is a lifestyle, and most of the people, they go to work, when they are done, they come back home and they are done, you know. But tracking, when you are doing OTR, you are stuck with the truck. You are always on the job, but you are not being paid. You only get paid when you are driving, and when you are not driving, you are still with a truck. So and you are not being paid. And another thing, the reason why I'm saying the long hours is that after you are done with your shift, you don't have anywhere to go. You are still in the truck, and your teammate immediately takes over. When your teammate immediately takes over, and if maybe you want to do something for 2 hours or whatever, you guys have a trip to do, you just sit in the passenger seat for maybe 2 hours, and after you go to sleep. So if it were some solo, you could go for a walk, you could exercise, but when you're doing OTR, you don't have anywhere to go. After you are done with your shift, immediately you are done, your teammate takes over. And yes, so it makes your hours to become long. And let me talk about sleeping. I said that if maybe you are done sitting or something, you just go to sleep. It is not easy sleeping when you are doing teams, mainly when the truck gets on bridges, you know, when mostly we have bridges, overheads and stuff. The joint between the bridges or connecting the overheads, oh my gosh, when the truck gets on those joints, you the person driving, you don't feel it, but the person in the sleeper, it is unbearable. So I was losing sleep, I was having many nights without sleep, and it was very, very tough. It was very, very tough. And yep, so that is one thing I will add. So when I was doing the OT, always I was thinking I need to be done with this thing so that I can get my sleep, because my sleep is very important. you know, some people are able to sleep no matter how you drive, no matter how bumpy the road becomes, they are able to sleep. Some of my teammates, they were able to sleep. But me, for instance, I need a calm and quiet and smooth ride to be able to sleep. If the ride is bumpy, I'm not able to sleep. So most of the time I stay awake the whole night. You stay awake the whole night, the next day you have to drive. Or maybe when your teammate is done, you have to switch and drive. Without, it is tough. It is tough, I'm going to tell you. Teaming, specifically. So if you are not good at sleeping when somebody is driving, I will not recommend OTR for you. And safety concerns, that is my next topic, or that is my next con. Safety concerns. It is not safe. As I said, when you are sleeping and your teammate is driving, you don't know where this person is going. You are asleep. You don't know where the track is. Whether this person is driving on top of a bridge, in a bush. I quite remember my first experience. We had an accident with my first teammate. I was sleeping and I overheard him shouting, screaming. I woke up and I knew something is wrong, and it was an accident. But fortunately we didn't run into any person. We just ran into the bushes and just off the road and ran into the bushes, and our truck just hit some of the plants and stuff, or some of the little trees, so the front got damaged a little bit. But yep. So yes, safety concerns. You don't know where you are sleeping, you don't know what your teammate is doing. You just put your faith in God and pray that God will keep you safe. So for me, it is not safe. If I am behind the wheels, I know I am responsible for my life. I know what I'm doing. But if somebody is driving, you don't know what the person is doing. Sometimes too, you might have a teammate, the person is not skilled. The person, as I said earlier, that I went to a dead end. You may have a teammate, you are sleeping, and the person will wake you up in the middle of the night. What has happened? The person has entered into a residential neighborhood without paying attention, without seeing, or without realizing that they are entering into a residential neighborhood, since both of you guys are new drivers. So yep. So you have to wake up and help to back the truck out of the place. And most of the time you will just go to a dead end, and you know how long these trucks are. You can't just make a curve and remove yourself from this trouble. So it is tough, and most of the time you will be sleeping and this thing will happen. So it is like the safety concern is very high. And the safety concern, another safety concern is the weather. Since you do 48 states, you drive through all of the states, and some of the states have tornadoes. You will hear strong winds. I remember I drove through Connecticut. No, sorry, I drove through Kentucky, and my trailer was being blown by the wind, strong winds. You will be holding the steering wheel and you will feel that the wind wants to overturn your truck. So you don't know what you bump into. The way, and sometimes, and when it is winter too, you are driving in winter, heavy snow. I quite remember North Dakota. We were traveling to Seattle. Through North Dakota, we had to stop somewhere because it was snowing heavily. And especially when we got to Seattle, before you get into Seattle, like the city, before you get to Seattle, we were traveling from Chicago to Seattle. There was a mountain in Seattle. that you have to descend. Oh my gosh, it was my first time. I don't know how the truck drivers were doing it. They were just driving past me, and I had to take my time, you know, and it wasn't easy descending that mountain into Seattle. And it was snowing on top of that mountain. It's a mountain just before Seattle. Like, you are almost getting to Seattle, like a couple of miles from Seattle. And the Seattle city, it wasn't snowing in the city, but on top of the mountain, oh, it was snowing. Hey, I'm feeling hot in the truck. Let me put on the AC. Because I didn't want the AC to make noise to interfere in the video that I'm making. But yeah, because I want you guys to understand me well, but I'm feeling hot. So yeah, so the safety concerns, accident, which somebody is driving, which you don't know where the person is driving whilst you are asleep. You don't know where they are, whether they are running into the river, whether they are running into the bush. You have no idea where you are, because you are done with your shift and you are sleeping. And the weather conditions, most of the time, especially in winter, is not favorable. And if it's not winter, sometimes the tornado in Tennessee or strong winds, you know, it is not easy. And my last con will be nighttime driving. As I told you earlier, that yeah, when I'm done with my shift, I need to sleep. Somebody is driving, the person needs to drive smoothly. And most of the time, you guys have miles to drive. The person cannot be driving 40 miles per hour on 70 miles highway. So you will lose sleep. You will not be able to sleep. And when it is night time for you to drive, you will be dozing off behind the steering wheel, which is very dangerous for you and for everybody on the road. So if you feel like you feel sleepy, the best thing is that find somewhere to park. So normally I find a truck stop, a rest area, park, and I take a power nap for about 2 hours, or I take a rest, even though it is my shift, but I am feeling sleepy. I'm not able to drive because I need to sleep. I didn't get good rest. So and when you find somewhere to park, if you don't have a teammate who is understanding, they go angry. I mean, they become angry and they go crazy. That why are you parking? It's your shift to drive, and you are here sleeping. But we were taught in school that when you feel sleepy, the only medicine is to take a rest. So, you know, that is for fatigue. When you are feeling fatigued, the only thing is to take a rest. You don't need to drink whatever that people drink, energy drink or whatever. The only solution is for you to sleep. So for me, if I'm driving at night and I have a shift at night and I'm feeling sleepy behind the wheels, I find a truck stop to park and take a power nap. I don't care what, because if I get an accident, I will be the one to be blamed. The company will just fire you, and they will even tell you, why didn't you take a rest when you were sleepy? So I know and I follow. But as I said, sometimes your teammates won't be that understanding, and they will be angry, and they will feel that you are lazy. So all of these bothered me. So I said, okay, you know what? And also home time. You are out for 2 weeks. And I was doing the 2 weeks out, 2 days home. And when you are out for the 1 week full, you see that your pay increase. But when you have to come back for the second week, like when you have to come home for the home time, the 2 days, you see that your pay minimizes. It becomes small. So the pay goes up and down. You know, it's not stable. And especially during the winter time, Sometimes during the winter you may be stuck somewhere, even though you are on the job. You are at work, you are with the truck, you are working, but you are not driving, and we get paid only by miles, like by driving. So if you are stuck somewhere because of winter, because of the weather is not good, and you are stuck somewhere for maybe one day, so meaning you are not being paid for one day, but you are on the job. Everybody, your family, your friends, everybody knows that you are working, but you are not making any money. You come home empty-handed. Some of the times or some of the weeks in winter doing OTR, everybody knows, so you're a truck driver, you are making a lot of money, and you'll be making $400 a week. It is unbelievable, I'm telling you. You know, so I check, I'm not making anything. And I am always out. I'm not seeing family, I'm not home, I'm working and coming home empty-handed. So this is not something that I would love to do. So I have quit OTR driving. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, and my next video I will tell you what I am doing right now. But don't get me wrong, people who do OTR and stay long on the road, like they stay 1 month on the road before coming home, they make good money. They make, because they don't take any time off, they don't take any home time. But I cannot do that. I need to live, I need to enjoy. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you will know what my next step is. Thank you. Bye.